to my channel. So today I'm just starting off with no makeup at all. I did fill in my brows with the new Maybelline tattoo and it is amazing, guys. So this is my eyebrows with no product and it's better than dyeing my eyebrows, I think. So basically I just went in with some Cetaphil Moisturiser and now I'm going with my Morphe eyebrow palette with those two colours that you saw me point to. So basically with the lighter colour I kind of feather it towards the inner part and the darker colour I put more towards the arch and the tail, because generally that's how your brows are. They're more lighter at the front and they slowly gradually get darker. And basically I'm not doing anything crazy because the Maybelline brow tattoo did a really good job at filling in all my gaps. So I'm just kind of darkening up just slightly, because when you do wear makeup, sometimes they get lost a little bit. So I'm just darkening them up a little bit. I'm then going in with my Maybelline concealer. I think this is in the color 20 or the number 20. And then basically I'm just carving out underneath the brows. And I noticed that my brows aren't even. And this just makes such a difference and makes them look so much better, I think. And also it just covers any little hairs as well that I've got coming through and just creates like a really sharp finish. And then I'm also using it as an eye primer. And then I go with my RCMA no color powder over the top just to set everything so that it's ready for when I go in with the eyeshadow powders. I'm going in with the Carli Bybel palette and just going in with that first shade there just as a transition. It's not much darker than my natural lid color, but it's kind of creating like a shadow, like a natural shadow. And yeah, it's not really like a normal orangey tone color I go for. It's more like a taupey kind of color. And basically I'm just using those four top shades in the palette. So if you're wondering what colors I'm using, and then going in with that second shade and just deepening up that crease a little bit further right underneath just where I put the first color. And I'm also just placing the color down and then buffing it in. You'll notice with the dark colors I use a different brush just to place the product where I want it and then blend it in with a fluffy brush. So again, just going in with those two deeper purpley tones and putting it in the corner, pretty much like a V, and then blending it out. I found with this palette you need to put quite a lot on to get like a really deep effect. I mean, like I guess it's good if you want a lighter color, like lighter coverage with it, but if you want a deeper color you do need to keep building it because there is quite a lot of fallout with this. And I noticed that these purpley tones are really, really good for green eyes. I mean, they're great for any eyes. I've put this on people with brown eyes as well, but especially green eyes because the purpley tones just bring out the green. So then I went in with that brown tone in the palette and now I'm going in with the black. Just any black tone. It doesn't have to be from this specific palette, but it can be just any black shadow that you have. And I'm just going in just along the lash line and towards the outer corner and then blending it away. Just so when I put my wing liner down, it has a natural kind of softness to it. It's not too harsh. I'm then going in with my finger, my ring finger, and picking up this shade and putting it all over my lid and just swiping it on and patting it on. And I found that this gave a better pigment than using a brush. So yeah, I really like to use my finger. And then I'm going in with that black shade just again because if it got lost when I put that lid shade over the top, I'm just putting it on again. And now I'm just going in with this Maybelline wing liner. I think it's Hyper Sharp or something wing liner. This is amazing. I really like this because as you turn the pen, you can see that it's really thin on one side, or you can use the flat side. So it's up to you where you're doing your eye, I guess. So for the wing, I like to use the really thin side, but as I'm going along my lash line, I kind of like to turn it around and use the flatter side. So it's easier, if that makes any sense. And also towards the inner corner, I like to use the thinner side. Now I'm just taking off the tape, and again I just like to make sure that my wings are even and the right length on each side. This takes way too long, so I just kind of sped it up. I'm then going with my L'Oreal Lumi Magique foundation in the color W3 and then my Lumi primer, and I just mix these two together and then place it all over my face and blend it out with a beauty blender. I was also thinking when I did this tutorial that it's a drugstore makeup because I was thinking what am I going to call it, but yeah, pretty much everything is really, really cheap and I didn't use any expensive products. It was pretty much everything you can find at the pharmacy. Obviously not the Carli Bybel palette, but again, you can just order that from Beige. I kind of like to go in with my finger and kind of press the product into any areas because I do have kind of dry skin, so I find that that helps. I'm now going in with the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer with just a little bit, not too much, and then just blending it away with my sponge. And then again going with my ring finger afterwards just to make sure it's not settling into those lines, those little tiny lines underneath my eyes before I put the powder on. Now I went in with the RCMA No Colour Powder. I didn't really bake as much, but I kind of did put it on a little bit heavier with the brush, and then I wiped it off later, you'll see. This is because when I go in underneath my lash line with those eyeshadows, if any fallout goes on there, I can just wipe it off. I also highlighted just down my nose, top of my forehead and top of the lip. I don't really like to do the chin, but you guys can, it's totally up to you. And you can add as much as you like. If you want to add more concealer, go right ahead. This is just how I like to do it, and I know my face and I know my skin, and yeah, I've done this before, so feel free to do whatever you want. Also with the eyeshadows I'm putting underneath the eye, I kind of put those first two shades underneath all the way along, and then with the two deeper purpley shades and the brown shade, I like to keep it towards the outer corner and kind of connect it to the wing. And then I like to brush off all the excess powder, and I also did a little bit of baking along the sides of my nose so that it just looks slightly thinner. I'm then going in with this highlight shade just in the inner corner. It's the second kind of champagne-y shade. This is absolutely beautiful, and in photos it just looks amazing. I'm then going in with this NYX bronzer. I think it's the matte bronzer in like deep tan. This is amazing. I really love this bronzer. It gives me like a nice sun-kissed look and is very similar to my tan shade. And yes guys, it is my real tan, it's not a fake tan. And as you'll see, like the foundation was slightly a little bit too light for me, so I really got to bronze up, you know, the tops of my forehead, my cheekbones, sides of my temples, and my jawline, chin and nose, just to get the right color, because I feel like I need to buy another foundation in the summer. I've only been in the sun twice and I just caught like the sun, like I just tan really easily. So I'm thinking about getting those darkening drops. I don't know if you've seen them by Australis, just so I can add it into my foundation so I don't have to go buy another one. But yeah, if you've tried them, let me know what they're like. And I also like to bronze up my ears as well, because if I do have my hair up, it's not like a light ear and then a tan face, if that makes sense. I'm then going in with a smaller brush on the sides of my nose and just kind of connecting it into that crease there. And I really like the way that looks. And then I'm going in with that same highlighter just down the bridge of the nose and the tip of it as well. And just highlighting along the cheekbones and where my arches as well. I think that looks really pretty in photos. And also the top of my lip, because it just makes your lips look a little bit fuller. I'm then going in with this Essence blush. It's in the shade Autumn Peach. And this is such a pretty shade, and I think it really brought out the orangey peachy tones in my play suit as well. And this is the Essence Clear Brow Gel. So I'm just going in just to set my brows because they tend to get a little bit crazy. And then I'm just curling my lashes and going in with my Essence I Love Extreme Mascara. This is amazing, especially if you want length. I mean, if you've been watching my channel, you know that I seriously love this mascara, and it's like $5. I'm then going in with this L'Oreal lip liner. I believe it's in the shade Beige Nude. It's just a really nice nude. And then I went in with the two NYX liquid lipsticks, one in Babydoll and one in Soft Spoken, and I just mixed them two together, put them on my lips, and then I went in with this L'Oreal lip gloss, and I was trying to find the shade, but I couldn't find it. And that's pretty much it, guys. See you next time. Bye.